Welcome back, everyone. I hear we are good on sound, so thank you to OIT for making that happen for us. Good morning. Just a few opening remarks from me, and I will open it to my colleagues as well. First, I want to acknowledge the birthday of Stacy Peterson, our Deputy Executive Director. It is today. Somehow we keep having board meetings on your birthday. I don't know how that happens.
She sets the agenda.
Happy birthday, Stacy. I also, well, first, coming off of Thanksgiving, I do just want to say thank you to all of the staff members and my colleagues here at the board. I know it has been not the easiest few months after Joe's passing, and I really appreciate the support from everyone and also the work of the outstanding employees in all of the divisions of the BPU. You're really incredible, and you impress me and everyone that I talk to every single day. So thank you for everything you do. In particular, I want to thank the Customer Assistance Division, Julie and Maureen and Tony and team. Last week, we hosted a utility assistance fair in Passaic. Over 800 people came to help get signed up for energy assistance. And, it was just really great to be there. And we had staff there, and we had our utility partners and some other organizations there helping to support the residents in Passaic County. And so it's just, that's really what this is all about. And so it was really wonderful to be able to help people. And we will continue to do those types of events throughout the state going forward. Our next quarterly public meeting is December 15th. It will be virtual. Please sign up if you want to make comments. As always, public input is really important to this department and this administration, so we look forward to hearing from you. In that same vein, next week, we will be having a technical conference on December 13th. It is in Trenton at the War Memorial from 9 to 4:30. It will also be live streamed. It is on the IRA, the Inflation Reduction Act, Homes and HERA program. So if that is of interest to you, please make sure that you join us. And also just want to acknowledge that Hanukkah starts tomorrow beginning at sunset, and wishing everyone who celebrates a joyous occasion. Any opening remarks from my colleagues? All right, so I just want to ask for a little bit of patience today so that we can have a smooth process. We will move a little bit more slowly. I will try to talk a little bit more slowly, so if you could just bear with us. Before we proceed to the general agenda, we have the consent. Madam Secretary, I understand there will be 2 votes on the consent agenda today?
Yes, Madam Secretary. On consent agenda items 1A. Need a motion in a second?
And second?
Thank you. Can we have roll call, please, on the first?
Commissioner Holden? Yes. Commissioner Christo DeLu?
Yes.
Commissioner Abdul?
Recused.
And President Gul-Sadovi.
Yes.
On consent agenda items 1B, 1C, 3A, 3B, 3C, 3D, 5A, 6A, and 7A.
Second?
Thank you. Roll call?
Commissioner Holden? Yes. Commissioner Christo DeLu?
Yes.
Commissioner Abdul?
Yes.
President Gul-Sadovi.
Yes. Thank you. Got through that. Now on to the regular agenda. Our first item is 2A, and Ian will be presenting. Good morning, Ian.
Good morning, Madam President, Commissioners. On September 28th, 2023, the Office of the Ohio Consumers Council, or OCC, filed a Federal Power Act Section 206 complaint with the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, FERC, asserting that PJM Interconnection LLC, PJM's open access transmission tariff and operating agreement are unjust and unreasonable. The complaint argued that the PJM tariff and operating agreement failed to provide the necessary regulatory oversight to ensure that local electric transmission projects, also known as supplemental projects, are needed, prudent, and cost-effective, thereby subjecting Ohio consumers to unjust and unreasonable transmission rates. To rectify the situation, OCC asked FERC to review all Ohio supplemental projects, establish an independent transmission monitor, and potentially require Ohio transmission utilities to use stated rather than formula rates. On November 17th, 2023, staff of the New Jersey Board of Public Utilities, on behalf of the board, filed an answer in the proceeding agreeing with the OCC that PJM's governing documents produce unjust and unreasonable transmission rates that FERC must rectify. The answer further explained that New Jersey consumers also suffer from unjust and unreasonable rates due to the same regulatory gap. As such, staff asserted that any remedy should apply to all affected states in the PJM region while respecting the unique jurisdiction of each state's utility regulator. Staff also argued that any remedy should include creating an ITM, an independent transmission monitor, to review transmission projects in Ohio, New Jersey, and any other interested state. Staff recommends the board ratify the answer filed with FERC on November 17th, 2023.
So moved.
And second?
Roll call, please.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden?
Yes.
Commissioner Crystal Delue?
Yes.
Commissioner Abdul?
Yes.
President Gold-Sadovy?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Ian. 2B is Ryan.
Good morning, President Goul-Sadovy and other commissioners. This is another set of FERC comments. So on October 13th, 2023, PJM Interconnection LLC filed 2 proposals with the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, or FERC, to revise its open access transmission tariff and reliability assurance agreement to amend certain components of the capacity market rules. One filing contained a suite of reforms with broad stakeholder consensus that these reforms are improvements over the status quo and should be included in future capacity market auctions. This is the resource adequacy filing. The other filing contained much more contested reforms about how capacity resources should make offers, be compensated, and be bound to obligations to perform. This is the market seller offer cap, or MSOC filing. On November 9th, 2023, staff of the New Jersey Board of Public Utilities, on behalf of the board, filed comments in protest to the MSOC filing. Specifically, staff explained that the implementation of a standalone capacity performance quantifiable risk component unduly shifts the cost of risk to consumers and away from investors in capacity offers. Staff also commented on PJM's proposed new rule in the determination process of a unit-specific market seller offer cap. The revision would diminish the role of the independent market monitor in negotiations for a just and reasonable offer cap. Finally, staff contended that PJM's proposal to allow transfers of performance assessment intervals obligations is not properly vetted, unreasonably vague, and does not fully address the need for a greater fix. Staff recommends that the board ratify the comments filed by staff on November 9th, 2023.
So moved.
Second?
Questions or comments?
I'd just like to add one thing, just as a reminder to the great work that you guys do. And the last 2 agenda items really reflect the depth of our concern about the ratepayers. And this goes well beyond just rate cases, but really trying to find out how we can save ratepayers money. And we will leave no stone unturned to make sure that we pursue that effort. So great job and thank you.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden?
Yes.
Commissioner Crystal Delue?
Yes.
Commissioner Abdul? President Gold-Sadovy?
Yes. Thank you, Ryan. 2C, the birthday girl. This item was discussed in executive session.
Yes. Good morning, President and Commissioners. Executive Order 317 mandates that within 18 months, the board develop recommendations regarding how the natural gas industry can meet the governor's goal of a 50% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions below 2006 levels by 2030, including the cost and support for well-paying jobs, including union jobs, necessary to meet the goal. As required by EO 317, on March 6th, the board initiated a proceeding and directed staff to engage with stakeholders to investigate and recommend how the natural gas industry can best meet these goals. In August, the board authorized staff to issue a request for quotation on behalf of the board to hire a consultant to support the Future of Natural Gas proceeding. On September 22nd, proposals were received from 2 firms in response to the RFQ. After a review and scoring by an evaluation committee, staff recommends that the board concur with the committee's evaluation and recommendation to award a contract, subject to final Treasury approval, consistent with the discussions in executive session.
So moved.
And seconded?
Great. Thank you, Stacy. We are looking forward to continued stakeholder engagement throughout this proceeding once the consultant gets on board. And, I look forward to the public's engagement on this matter as we started the technical conference, I think, with some great sessions. Many of you in this room were there, and many of you watching were there. And so we look forward to continued conversations on Executive Order 317. Can I have a roll call, please?
On a motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden?
Yes.
Commissioner Crystal DeLune?
Yes.
Commissioner Abdul?
Yes.
President Gold-Sadovy?
Yes. Stacy, still here.
Still here. On July 17th, JCP&L filed a petition seeking review and approval to recover the net deferred costs related to the COVID-19 pandemic and to establish an annually reconcilable charge to recover prudently incurred costs through a COVID-19 recovery charge. At this time, staff recommends that the board retain this matter for hearing, designate a presiding commissioner, and set a bar date of January 8th for the filing of motions to intervene and/or participate.
Thank you. And the commissioner will be Commissioner Christodoulou. Thank you. I'll move it. Thank you.
And second?
Other questions? Roll call, please.
On a motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden?
Yes.
Commissioner Crystal DeLune?
Yes.
Commissioner Abdul?
Yes.
President Gold-Sadovy?
Yes. The birthday girl again.
One more. On February 1st, PSE&G filed a petition seeking approval of adjustments to the company's electric conservation incentive program and associated rates to account for potential lost sales revenue stemming from the company's energy efficiency programs. By order dated May 24th, the board approved a provisional stipulation while the parties continued to review the matter. As a result of that order, it was anticipated that a typical residential customer would experience an annual increase of $10.08. The parties have now executed a stipulation for final rates, recommending that the board finalize the company's ESIP rates, which were approved in the provisional order. As a result of the stipulation, there is no additional impact on customer bills. Staff recommends the board approve the stipulation and direct PS to file revised tariffs by December 29th.
So moved.
Second?
Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
On a motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden?
Yes.
Commissioner Crystal DeLune?
Yes.
Commissioner Abdul? President Gold-Sadovy?
Yes.
Thank you.
We won't sing out here. 4A, Lawanda.
Good morning, Madam President and Commissioners.
Good morning.
On June 6, 2023, Warwick Valley Telephone Company, doing business as Altiva of Warwick LLC, and its parent company, MBS Intermediate Holdings, filed a petition with the board seeking approval of a transfer of control of Altiva from a transfer of control of Altiva to Archtop Fiber LLC. Warwick is one of the Stage 3 incumbent local exchange carriers and provides service to over 500 business and over 1,300 residential customers in portions of West Milford and Vernon, New Jersey. Under the proposed transaction, Archtop would acquire 100% of the capital stock of Altiva from MBS, which would result in the indirect transfer and acquisition of control of Warwick, Altiva's wholly owned subsidiary. The petitioners asserted that the transaction is in the public interest because it would result in greater broadband investment, faster and better broadband services, and new efficiencies that will benefit Warwick's existing and future customers. Archtop plans to upgrade Warwick's copper distribution system to an XGS PON fiber to the premises network, providing availability of increased broadband services and improved customer service interfaces. The petitioner stated that the change in ownership would be indirect and there would be no assignment of licenses, assets, or customers that would occur because of the transaction. Furthermore, the petitioners claimed that the transaction would not result in a reduction or impairment of service to customers and will be transparent to customers with respect to the telecommunications services that they currently receive. Board staff and the New Jersey Division of Rate Counsel submitted discovery requests to the petitioner, which were responded to. And on September 28th, 2023, Rate Counsel submitted comments stating that it did not oppose board approval following a determination that the transaction would yield positive benefits to New Jersey and is in the public interest. On October 17th, 2023, the petitioners filed a letter with the board confirming the significant commitments agreed to by the petitioners for upgrades of the system, which would ensure the transaction would provide positive benefits to the state and consumers. Staff, having reviewed the record in the proceeding, has found that the petitioners have met the statutory requirements, and the proposed transaction will not adversely impact competition nor adversely impact the rates or employees of Warwick. The company will continue to be able to meet its commitments for the provision of safe, adequate, and proper service. In addition, the upgrades to the service represent a positive benefit for consumers served by the system. Staff therefore recommends approval of the transaction and will require annual reports to the board detailing the progress of the upgrades to the system.
So moved.
Second?
Thank you. Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden? Commissioner Crystal Delune?
Yes?
Commissioner Abdul?
Yes.
President Gulsadovi?
Yes. Thank you a lot.
Thank you.
We have Matt for 8A. This was also an executive session.
Good morning again, Madam President, Commissioners. This matter involves the award of a contract for services related to the 2024 Energy Master Plan, or EMP. Specifically, staff of the New Jersey Board of Public Utilities seeks approval to hire a contractor to assist with the development of the 2024 EMP, which will serve as a whole-of-government progress report on the goals and strategies in the 2019 EMP, outline the changing landscape of state and federal support for climate action, and determine the basis for the development of actionable next steps to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and maximize clean energy uptake economy-wide. In 2018, Governor Phil Murphy signed Executive Order Number 28, which directed the board to develop an EMP to serve as a comprehensive blueprint to achieve 100% clean energy by 2050. Released on January 27, 2020, the 2019 EMP establishes a set of goals to put New Jersey on a pathway to achieve the state's clean energy goals and expands upon previous versions to account for the complete energy system in New Jersey, including electricity generation, transportation, and usage in commercial buildings. The 2024 EMP will be a public-facing document that incorporates progress information acquired through interagency collaboration and stakeholder feedback to build upon the 2019 EMP and help New Jersey reach its accelerated goal of 100% clean energy by 2035, amongst other clean energy and climate goals and benchmarks. To provide an open and transparent process, staff expects robust stakeholder engagement. This will include holding a series of virtual public hearings to solicit input from stakeholders and members of the general public that will help inform staff's drafting of the 2024 EMP. On September 27, 2023, the board authorized the release of a request for quotation, or RFQ, to hire a contractor to aid in the development of the 2024 EMP. On November 3, 2023, proposals were received from two firms in response to the RFQ. An evaluation committee composed of several board staff members reviewed and scored each proposal. Staff, with assistance from BPU's Office of Budget and Finance, will work with the Department of Treasury to receive all necessary approvals to procure a contractor through the waivers of advertising process. Staff recommends the board award the contract to the recommended vendor as discussed in executive session.
Thank you.
So moved.
Second?
Just want to say, I know that folks are eagerly awaiting the next EMP, but as Matt said, we are committed to a robust stakeholder process. This is not just going to be a refresh of the 2019 EMP. We're going to look at our progress and look at our future moving forward to ensure that we are on the right track to meet our goals and that we're doing that with full public engagement. So thank you. Roll call, please.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden?
Yes.
Commissioner Crystal Delue? Yes. Commissioner Abdul?
Yes.
President Gosadovi?
Yes. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Sawyer, 8B, also discussed in executive session.
Good morning, Commissioners. This matter involves a request for quotation for consulting services relating to net metering. Specifically, staff seeks approval to hire a contractor to assist with developing policy recommendations regarding net metering, a construct that permits owners and/or operators of a Class 1 renewable energy generation facility to receive credits for any electricity that is supplied back to the grid. In 2018, Governor Phil Murphy signed the Clean Energy Act, which updated provisions regarding rules for net metering standards for electric power suppliers and basic generation service providers. The Clean Energy Act specifies that, quote, "The board may authorize an electric power supplier or basic generation service provider to cease offering net metering to customers that are not already net metered whenever the total generating capacity owned and operated by net metering customer generators statewide exceeds 5.8% of the total annual kilowatt hours sold in this state by each electric power supplier and each basic generation service provider during the prior one-year period." Staff believes that the future of net metering should not have an adverse effect on the development of a thriving solar industry in New Jersey and meeting Governor Murphy's goal of 100% clean energy by 2035. Staff seeks to initiate a proceeding with a robust, open, and transparent stakeholder process to develop recommendations to the board that will facilitate the state's least cost path to achieve its clean energy goals, support the state's solar energy, integrate with the wider energy system, and promote equity and access to the benefits of clean energy. Staff recommends the board approve the release of the RFQ to hire a contractor to assist staff in policy planning for the future of net metering, as discussed in executive session.
So moved.
Thank you so much, Sawyer. Again, please note this is a 2-year study on a complex issue, so the board does not intend to take action during that study period. Other questions? All right, roll call, please.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden?
Yes.
Commissioner Crystal Delue? Yes. Commissioner Abdul?
Yes.
President Gosadovi?
Yes. Thank you, Sawyer. Diane, 8C.
Good morning, President and Commissioners.
Good morning.
This item relates to a subsection T application from the Bighorn Landfill Solar Farm, LLC, seeking certification for eligibility to generate Transition Renewable Energy Certificates, or TRECs, for a proposed facility to be located on a properly closed sanitary landfill pursuant to subsection T of the Solar Act of 2012. The applicant's proposed 4.2 megawatt DC project is to be located on 9.2 acres at the Chemung Township landfill site in Chemung Township, Burlington County, New Jersey. Staff reviewed the application and supplied a copy to the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection for their review. Staff received an environment advisory memo on the application where the DEP determined that the Bighorn Landfill Solar Farm project is located on property defined as a properly closed sanitary landfill consistent with the Solar Act of 2012. NJDEP also provided specific conditions and requirements for permits and approvals that the proposed project must satisfy. Based upon the review of the application and the advisory memorandum provided by NJDEP, staff recommends the following 3 items. That the board grant conditional certification of the Bighorn Landfill Solar Farm project as proposed for the Chemung Township landfill site as a properly closed sanitary landfill, consistent with the Solar Act of 2012. Find the conditions for certification provided by the New Jersey DEP be fully documented as satisfied by the applicant prior to staff's issuance of full certification, and direct the applicant to file its TREC registration within 14 days of the date of the order.
Thank you. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden?
Yes.
Commissioner Crystal Delue? Yes. Commissioner Abdul?
Yes.
President Gosadovi?
Yes. Thank you, Diane. 8D, we have Dustin.
Morning, Madam President and Commissioners.
Morning.
The United States Department of Energy provides federal financial assistance and technical support to the states for energy programs through the State Energy Program. This program seeks to promote the efficient use of energy and reduce the rate of growth of energy demand through the development and implementation of specific state energy programs. Between 2020 and 2022, the state of New Jersey received a total of $4,431,960 in allocations, which was divided among 6 activity areas under the State Energy Program Plan, or SEP Plan. As of program year 2020, these activity areas included the State Energy Security Plan development, incorporating health and safety measures into energy efficiency upgrades, the Building Sector Decarbonization Roadmap, the State Energy Water and Benchmarking Study, the non-investor-owned utility or non-IOU program, and training and conferences. Staff seeks to modify the 2022 SEP Plan to remove the Building Sector Decarbonization Roadmap from the SEP Plan to avoid duplicative efforts. New Jersey's Clean Buildings Working Group, a collaboration between the Governor's Office of Climate Action and the Green Economy and the Board of Public Utilities, is developing a roadmap to clean buildings and does not require SEP funding. Staff seeks to reallocate the unexpended funds from the Building Sector Decarbonization Roadmap market title as follows: $62,699.05 to the non-IOU program, $154,979 to the State Energy and Water Benchmarking Study, and $1,478,655.95 to incorporating health and safety measures into energy efficiency upgrades, also known as the Whole House Pilot Program, which will include building and decarbonization measures. Staff recommends approval of the 2022 SEP Plan modifications and submission of these modifications to the United States Department of Energy. Staff also requests authorization from the board for staff to submit future requests to the US DOE to extend the performance period or to true up activity budgets of the SCP plan if necessary.
So moved.
Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden?
Yes.
Commissioner Crystal Delou? Commissioner Abdul? President Gossadovi?
Yes. Thank you, Dustin.
Thank you.
And our last item on the agenda is 9A with Ben.
Good morning,
Good morning.
Madam President and Commissioners. This matter was presented in executive session and concerns the release of a request for quotation to retain a consultant to assist staff with a study of rate design and policy options to ensure an equitable transition to 100% clean electricity and to reduce energy burden on low and moderate income households in New Jersey. Staff recommends that the board authorize the release of this RFQ.
So moved.
Great, thank you, Ben. As you said, we want to ensure that we are having an equitable transition to a clean energy future and that all of the residents of the state of New Jersey are able to take advantage of our clean energy programs. So we look forward to this process and to the outcome of that study and to continuing with the stakeholder engagement that seems to be the theme for today. Other questions or comments? All right, roll call, please.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Holden?
Yes.
Commissioner Crystal Delou? Commissioner Abdul?
Yes.
President Gossadovi?
Yes, thank you, Ben. That concludes our formal agenda. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Roll call? Oh, no roll call. Oh, so close. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So close. I know. Thank you, everybody.